starting out, the whole reason behind this is, in talking with our group coaching people and talking with my clients, and then just talking with Brian and I, we're all kind of struggling to create this content. And this is something that I learned many years ago. But I feel like we need to double down on it now and really get back into the swing of this. So, the first steps to really getting started is identifying the main topics, products, and services that you want to focus on. And that's really important that we do that first, because we can't do everything. It's something that we should really hone in and try and build a promotion around one or two, maybe three things. But you'll see why towards the end of the conversation today, that why that's so necessary to really get your focus together so that you can be most productive in that area, rather than just making incremental progress as we move along. So the next thing that you want to do is really schedule a full weekend and block that out. I know a lot of us right now, there's many things going on, especially those with kids. But if you can, really make it a priority to schedule as much time on a full weekend, knowing that other things might come up. And once you do that, you've got your block of time, you can get your mind right about it, and you can really get going. Now, third on the list here is planning out your yearly and timely promotionals. And what I mean by that is many of us use holidays or seasons to talk about in a unique way about what we do for people and how we can help them, and address that in some sort of promotion. So really outline what that is. If you just go by calendar holidays, that's totally cool. If you go by random holidays, which we'll get to a resource there in a moment. I've given it out before, but we'll make sure you have that too. And then just on the day, on the weekend, you got to hit record and you got to start going. So we are going to need to give some stuff up too as part of this process, because we can't be the only person to do all of this stuff for ourselves. We really need to enlist at least one person to help you cut all this stuff up and then produce it for many different channels, whatever those channels are that work best for you. Second here is giving things up, is scheduling things, trying to post them on the day of. Don't do that stuff. That is best for someone else to do. And really, if we can get it out the gate and schedule it way ahead of time, we're going to be far better off. And again, we'll get to some more details on that why. And then also, for the time being, give up everything else. As long as you're not the only one that can do the work for clients and customers, try and give that stuff up just for the time being, for like a week, and really focus in on creating this promotion, creating the content, knowing what you're going to say and how you're going to speak to people. Because when we focus, you can get a lot more energy in one direction, rather than trying to do a whole bunch of other things. In a creative mindset, it's hard to go from producer to creative in the flip of a switch. And that's probably one thing that's getting in a lot of our ways. So going back to what we need to do, identify your main topics. So again, focus on what products and services you do sell. How do they help the customer? What are the most common issues that your customers have that your products or services solve for them? And then how do your customers talk about these issues today? And I literally mean, what's the language? What are the words that they use to describe what they're experiencing? Because that's going to be the same language you want to employ when you're talking about your products and services, or just the environment that is causing the issues that your customers are dealing with that drive them to you. Planning your yearly and timely promotionals. Do you start with only standard holidays? Do you use anything that annually, like seasonal industry-focused events? Or is there anything else that's going on that you can leverage as a topic? And why we want to do that is so that when we get to planning out the content creation, then you know exactly the 5 to 10 to 20, hopefully you don't have more than 20, but 5, 10, or 20 items that you can focus in on, that I need to say something around this in conjunction with talking about the problem clients or customers are experiencing and leading them to the product or service that I offer. And before I move on, that resource that I mentioned earlier, brownielocks.com, is absolutely wonderful. The website is hideous, but they do a great job of providing amazing holidays. It's pretty much everything. I don't think there is one day all year that they don't have something you can leverage as a holiday or special event. So highly recommend using brownielocks.com. Now, recording, the reason I say recording, and you can do this in any fashion that works best for you. If you don't like to be on video, that's totally cool. I still recommend video first because it's a way to capture natural speak. The way that you talk is always going to be the best. Be authentic in your marketing and promotion. Yes, you may turn some people off, but screw those people. You only care about people that like you. A little harsh, but I truly believe that that is the way to actually get people to care about you. Because if you don't have any haters, you also don't have any people that actually care enough to tell others about you. So go out and get you some haters, as our Uncle G would say, Grant Cardone. But again, the big reason I focus on video is because it gets you so many different pieces of content, unique forms of content that you can leverage out of just doing it once. And I am all about doing it once so that I never have to do it again. So if I create a video, I now have one video. So I've got a video component there. I can take the audio out and run that as a podcast or do it as just snippets in something else. I can transcribe the video, and now I have a written component. So I have a blog or social media post, etc. And the big one that you can leverage, especially when you're doing timely promotions, is to pull out quotes. And this is something that if you did a 10-minute recording of a video, I guarantee you probably have about 4 months of quotes that you can use and use and use in just one little piecemeal item, and then you can drive them back to the full video if that's what you choose, or audio or blog, whatever it is that you're using to promote to. But the whole point there is that you're getting at least a 4x multiplier on your content by doing it once and doing it on video. So being prepared to give things up. Stop doing everything yourself. I've talked at length about this before. I know Brian has talked about this. We had Blaine on a couple weeks ago talking about delegation and why that really frees you up to make even more money. But we can't do all this stuff ourselves. We can't be the one-man show. We really need a team, even if that team is just one other person. That can be a VA that you hire. That can be your nephew. That can be anyone that you trust enough to take what you've recorded with a little bit of guidance and help you create all of this additional content and these pieces for you. So you do the recording and then hand it off to someone else to edit, to transcribe, to transfer to those different mediums. The point here is stop doing everything just with you. Lastly, actually not lastly, second to lastly, I believe, scheduling all of these things in advance is something that can really help speed things up and get us back to our next promotion. You know, I mentioned earlier, we want to take about a week, at least a full weekend off from everything else. So you don't have to care about it. You can put all your energy into this and really create all of that content. And then when we're doing that, when we're handing that off to schedule, that allows somebody else to care about how it's going to be promoted and when it's going to be promoted, so that you can then move on to the next item and really start being able to focus and dive in there. The key here is that consistency is the key to long-term success with any sort of marketing, whether that is on social media or in print or anything. The more times you get in front of a customer, the more likely they are to remember you. We used to talk about the rule of 7. I believe it's up to the rule of 21 now, especially with everything that we're being bombarded with every day. There's actually a lot of studies that have been done, especially on Facebook. When you're on Facebook for 15 minutes, you have likely seen about 200 pieces of advertising, and that is insane. So the more times that you can get in front of your customer or potential customer with a message they truly care about, you're telling a story that puts them in the center seat there, not talking about you, not talking about your product, but really talking about the things that they're experiencing, the more likely you are to get a customer to actually remember who you are and come ask you for help. Okay, I think this is the last one, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So stop doing 47,000 different things at once. We're all entrepreneurs and business owners and operators, and we have a lot to do. That screws us up really bad, and we don't even realize it. So what I really would encourage everyone to do is try to carve out niches where you can just be 100% focused on one thing, and then set it aside and move on to the next one. So you see the little diagram here. When you have a lot of energy in a lot of different places, you make very little progress in each one of those. Sure, you're keeping the ball moving, but you're not actually being successful. Whereas on the right here, if you focus your energy in one specific area, the same amount compounds and works exponentially in that one area. So it's not just a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 5. It's really a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 25. There is an exponential growth rate there in compounding that energy when you're able to focus it. So highly recommend just commit to one single promotion, one single motion of that, and then just get it nailed out. So as a reminder, do this, identify the main topics, products, services that you want to focus on, schedule that full weekend so you can use that time to produce all of this video content, plan out your year in timely promotionals so you know at times during those recording sessions, you need to talk about X, Y, and Z, or if you end up doing 20, then all the 20 letters of the alphabet minus 6. Choose your 6 that you don't care about. I don't care. That's fine. And then lastly, hit record and just get it done. That's the biggest thing that kind of puts us all at unease. Is I know Brian is completely adverse to being on camera and being recorded. He sees that red light and it's bad. So he's working on it. Highly recommend you do too. Just be normal. Be yourself. People like you because you're you, not because you're pretending to be someone else. Be authentic. Just be yourself. Like I said earlier, go get you some haters. So I believe that is it for me. Does anyone have any questions? And if you don't, I actually have some questions prepared for you.
I have a question. Do you see me?
Man, we got a big group on today and nobody questions?
Yes.
Oh, Nancy, jump in. Sorry, I didn't see you.
I don't know if you couldn't hear me, couldn't see me. So talking about videos, I've been using Loom, where it has my face up on the corner, and then I can screen share what I want to teach my people. So
yeah, exactly.
Do you like Loom? I
love it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my computer right now. I went a little pro and got I'm on a Mac, but I got a screen recording piece of software that can do basically that same thing, that picture-in-picture effect as well. But that's just because I do produce those videos and put them out for monies. So I wanted it to look a little bit better than Loom, but Loom is great. I absolutely love it. It's super quick. Anyone who doesn't know about that and you have to teach people how to do something on the computer, highly recommend loom.com. You can go and sign up. They have a free tier. They have a paid tier as well, several paid tiers, but their free tier is amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, highly recommend that. Nancy, that's great. What are you using that to teach student? Is it student? Or?
I teach older adults how to use their smartphones and their computers.
Oh, perfect.
So right now I'm doing it remotely and it's hard just to talk them through over the phone. So I just take my iPhone and I help someone get on Instacart just by me doing it first. And then she saw all my steps.
Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Anyone else questions, or I'll just fire them off and you gotta talk. All right, well, I'll lean in here. So we were talking about some holiday promotions or promotionals for your yearly and timely things. Who has some things that you do every year that you know you have to put into your content plan for 2021? I want to hear what those things are. Yes, jump in, John.
I don't do a lot of seasonals, but I do one thing every year at Christmas time, and I know everybody does this, but I send out a little electronic Christmas card, and I make sure it goes out on LinkedIn as well. And at the bottom of it, I just include a sentence saying, for me, it was, thank you for being part of your marketing journey this year, or my marketing journey this year. Please reach out and let me know if I can help you bring any marketing magic to your 2021. And just by doing that, I've gotten a couple jobs straight out of it. It's really simple. You're sending the notes anyways. Don't forget to put a call to action in.
Yes. One good point to remember there, always let people know how they can work with you. That's great, John. Nancy, did you have another one?
No, I was just moving my hair
moving
My
your hair. No worries. Who else? Any seasonals or holidays that you double down on or dive into, even if it's just to say thank you to clients? Colleen, did you raise your hand or move your hair?
I'm moving my hair, but I can talk for a second.
Okay.
I was going to type something in the chat anyway. You know, we talk often about the 5 love languages and how you want to be acknowledged, validated, spoken to, communicated to. And one of my favorite is receiving gifts. I love to give gifts. I love to drop off little things on people's doorsteps and just surprise them and say thank you, whether it's, you know, a bona fide gift or a gift card or Tamisa's treats, whatever. I've been at the post office. I can't tell you how many times the postal people keep looking at me like, what the heck, is she doing drugs by all these boxes? You know, so I just think it's really important to take that time out for them and just keep staying in touch in different ways. And so, yes, I do like to do gifts.
Awesome. Yeah, Holly, jump in.
I was going to say that too, Colleen. So I am a photographer and a life coach, and with photography, I mostly do like weddings and portraits. And so during the holidays, I'll give like a couple prints, like tiny little ones in this like really cute little frame that like stands up. So that way my product is in their house. And when people are at their house, like hanging out, I mean, not so much with social distancing anymore, but it's kind of like product placement, but also like a little gift to them. And then like a really sweet handwritten card with like, you know, sweet things in there from their wedding that is just super personal. And I found with those clients that I've done that for, they speak most highly to their friends rather than if I just send photos and then I'm done with it. Those are the ones that refer me the most.
That is awesome. I love that idea. And I know we got a couple other photographers here who are listening intently there. Go, oh, that's a good idea. Awesome. Anyone else? Otherwise, we're going to jump into mastermind time a little bit early.